Good afternoon. I'm Jim Hogan, your Gloucester County Clerk, and we have two guests here today to talk about Gloucester County Institute of Technology. We have a teacher, David White, to my far left, and we have a student intern for my office, Max Yeung. And Max has been with us for a couple of years, and he's had a very interesting summer with us, and he did some very valuable work. And so I'm going to turn the mic over to his teacher, David White, to explain the program that Max is in at Gloucester County Institute of Technology. Mr. White?
So Max took part in really two different programs that I happen to work with. The first one, and the one you see displayed here, is TSA. Now, a lot of people get us confused with the airline people. And when Max got to go on the national trip this year to Orlando, Florida with 13 other classmates, it confused the actual TSA people as well. But TSA stands for Technology Student Association. And it is one of our career technical student organizations at GCIT. The career technical student organizations are a actually federally supported program that are clubs designed to prepare students for college, career, and civic life. And the CTSOs are at the heart of what we do at GCIT. We have many, but TSA is the newest one, and the one that we're obviously the most excited about. TSA is focused on the STEM fields, so students develop technical skills in areas like computer science, audio podcasting, video production, and also leadership competitions. And the leadership competition that Max was involved in is called Chapter Team. Now, in Chapter Team, what a group of students does is they demonstrate how a CTSO, and TSA in particular, can carry out the democratic decision-making process, which involves proposing an idea, discussing it, and then finally voting on it. And that's how our democracy works in the end. And the Chapter Team event was one where students perform a mock meeting. It's only 6 students, but they perform what would a big meeting look like, and they demonstrate that decision-making process and build that democratic nature of these student-led organizations. Max's team took 8th in the country, which in the TSA competition is awesome. Number one, because it was their first time attempting it in that competition. But we were really proud of the results, and I know that GCIT and Gloucester County, who was well represented. One of the things that does happen is sometimes people have trouble out of state pronouncing Gloucester County, but they managed to do that correctly, so we were happy about that. We were really pleased with the results that we got.
Okay. One of the reasons we're here, Max, was Heather Poole, my deputy county clerk, who was in charge of elections and the judicial side of our office, told me that the team was Robert's Rules of Order. So drill down on that for me a lot, because the note that I got was you finish 8th using Robert's Rules of Order.
So Chapter Team was a competition that involved using Robert's Rules of Order, and that is how the judges were grading us on how well we did. The work process, it was 4 straight months of learning the Robert's Rules of Order from back to front, and I really give credit to our team captain and Chapter Team president, Megan Millars, for taking us through that 4 months, and I really think that she is the reason why we walked across that stage that night, and that was in front of thousands of people in this convention hall at the, what hotel was it?
It was the Rose and Shingle Creek.
The Rose and Shingle Creek Hotel in Orlando, Florida. And being able to walk across that stage in front of the thousands of people, it just felt so rewarding to be able to be recognized for our hard work and dedication that the whole entire team put in. And that was just truly, I can't put it into words about how that feeling of just walking across that stage.
How do you bridge that experience to what you did for us this past summer? Because you had your hands full. All right? We had the crowd strike outage in July. If you remember, you guys were in perpetual motion getting us back up because we have laws that we have to adhere to on recording property. It's called the race to the legal premises, the race to the courthouse, meaning who gets there first records, and if for some reason it gets convoluted, you get into some legal issues that could arise. We were in trouble. We had to get back up. And so, yes, I have an IT department, but you know how many PCs we have at Deptford Mall here. You just saw a room full of them out there. We're in the emergency operating center, the second one. There's 2 in the county. How did you feel that pressure?
Oh, that was a hectic day. The IT team was essentially triaging those computers, and we went from the courthouse to the surrogate center to here, where computers were experiencing issues. It was actually called the blue screen of death, where it was experiencing this blue screen, and you quite literally could not get off of it. And the other intern, Vinny, he was able to find a solution, and we applied that solution slowly to each computer. And that's really what fixed all those computers that went down. We were able to get them back up and everything running again.
So did Mr. Wade teach you all that?
Partially.
Well, Mr. Wade happens to be a history teacher, so he was not helpful with this type of class.
But that ability to stay calm, confident, I think I got that from Mr. White.
We value the interns, and we give you real work. Now, can you discuss your experience with us on elections? We just went through a presidential election.
Oh, yeah. They have me doing hands-on work, and I am getting to physically see the process unfold. On election night, I was organizing the keys to the voting machines, and I was putting them in individual bins and labeling them, essentially. And it was really cool to see just how much background work goes into ensuring an election is fair and secure. And I think what work goes on here is truly amazing, and you don't get that type of insight if you aren't interning here. And I'm so fortunate to have been given the opportunity to intern with your office.
And what did you do on protecting us staff-wise and company-wise on the emails, so that the tendency of an employee is to, when they see an email, they hit the button. Explain to you what you did for us there.
Yeah, I created posters off Canva, and I made them to make Gloucester County employees aware of phishing links and malware that can be transmitted through emails, which I think is horrible and it is truly deceiving. But these posters, it gave you the warning signs, it informed employees not to click on emails from outside sources. And I also noticed that the IT department sends out test phishing emails, and I think that is a really effective way to combat malware from being put into these computers through these phishing emails and phishing links.
So the only requirement that I have is you can't finish 8th.
All right.
You know, I mean, Mr. White has assured us that we're going to be at least 4.
Yes.
We will definitely do that, Mr. Hogan.
All right. I'm going to go back to Mr. White, who runs the program, gives us quality students, and if he has any closing comments.
Yeah, well, I would say I advise the program and I sponsor the parliamentarians. A lot of what we do, and other people we should mention on this podcast are 3 of the volunteer advisors that also take part in TSA. I know Mr. Drew Favat, he is the person that could take credit for the computer science training that Max has, and so he's been absolutely influential. And Mr. Favat, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you'll be proud that Max did such great work with and I didn't even know about all the great things that you were talking about, Mr. Hogan. But also Summer Smith, who's with our biotechnology and Mrs. Kimberly White, who's our extemporaneous speaking advisor. All these people give their time. I just happen to collect a very small paycheck for it, but we're all a team that works together. TSA is all about putting together teams of people that can work together on problem solving, and that's what Max seems to have demonstrated this summer, demonstrated in Orlando in June, demonstrated in the county clerk's office in July, and on into Election Day. And I didn't know that we had somebody that actually was assisting with the election this year, which that's amazing and incredible. So, yeah, thank you for the opportunity to come and talk with you today.
I'm going to give you a chance to add any thoughts.
All right. Well, to any possible GCIT students out there, I think joining TSA would be your best move. We here at TSA are emphasizing the mission of learning to lead in a technical world. And it really gives you that 21st century leadership skills that are needed in today's working world. And I, for myself, can say that it has helped me grow as a person. My public speaking skills have improved. I've come out of a shell, essentially. And I'm happy to announce that in the spring, I will be running for state office within New Jersey, TSA. And that is hopefully for the office of vice president. And thank you so much for having us on here, Mr. Hogan.
Okay. Well, let me close by saying I feel threatened that you're going to take my job. So you keep winning these elections. That's how it ends up. I was a police chief and a policeman for 26, 28 years. Then I became the sheriff, and then it just kept rolling from there. So anyway, this is one of the reasons what we do at the clerk's office. In addition to serving people each and every day, we also want to build the younger generation, and this is one of the ways that we do it.